Right out of the gate, can the painting machine paint armor? I have been told by the YouTube comments that the painting machine can indeed paint armor, and I need to check this with my fabulous-looking Elementium armor. If I take that and I put it in here, can I make my helmet? Oh, I can't. Doesn't work? Excuse me? Excuse me? What is this? So you can paint armor, just badly. And apparently you can only do it with the helmet as well. Like, seemingly I cannot paint the other parts of my body. Like, I can't put the chest plate in there. What in the world? All right, so apparently you can paint a helmet to look, I assume, like any block. We're gonna go with the cobblestone there, I guess. But unfortunately, you can't paint it to look like the armor here. I was hoping I could like make my armor look like Elementium armor whilst still having, you know, all of the speedy benefits of this Ender armor here. And speaking of speedy benefits, I think we might be able, chat, to get a little bit faster if we quickly upgrade our Sojourner's Sash here, because there is an upgraded version of it called the Globetrotter's Sash, which we couldn't make before because we didn't have a Gaia Spirit. But now that we do have a spare Gaia Spirit, I think we can probably go ahead and upgrade that fairly easily, which I think is going to make us just that little bit faster. All right, so I assume that's going to make me just a little bit faster. I don't know if it's going to be like perceptibly faster, but I think we are a tiny bit. Actually, yeah, it does feel a little faster. That could be like a placebo effect, but I am fairly certain that I'm a little faster now than I was before, which is always nice. You know, it's good to be fast. So, chat, in the last stream, we were of course working on environmental tech, right? It was painfully slow, but we were getting there slowly but surely. If we head on through to the overworld, I didn't end up making any more void ore miners, but what I did end up doing is I ended up crafting all of the kind of modifier slots here into either speed modifiers or accuracy modifiers. So right now we have 4 accuracy modifiers and 4 speed modifiers. The speed modifiers, of course, making the void ore miner faster, and the accuracy modifiers increasing our chances of getting crystals because we have the clear laser lens. Now, each one of the modifiers here does require a Lonsdaleite crystal, this guy right here, and so I did temporarily replace a couple of these lenses, like in the tier 1 miners here, with the black laser lens, because that drastically increases your chances of getting that Lonsdaleite. By default, the chances of getting the Lonsdaleite crystals are not particularly high. If we look in JEI here, you'll see it has a 0.07% chance. So if you want to get the modifiers, you really do want to get one of these black lenses and start trying to upgrade, increase that percentage. But essentially, I've done that. This tier 1 miner, or this tier 3 miner, now requires 6,233 redstone flux per tick, which is quite pricey. But what I've also done between streams is I've gone ahead and upgraded our solar panel here. So previously we had a tier 1 solar panel, which was made with all cryonite solar cells. What I've done between streams is upgraded our solar array to tier 2, and then I've gone ahead and basically filled in the rest with, we had Palladium solar cells, that's why we have 9 of those. And then between streams, I made some more cryonite solar cells. I didn't quite have enough Palladium to upgrade them all, although, since all of this has been running overnight, we do now have many hundreds, if not thousands, of basically all of the first 4 tiers of crystals, and so we could probably upgrade this to all Palladium solar cells. Real quick, let me take a look. This thing is currently producing 6,875 redstone flux per tick, so more than enough to power that tier 1 miner. And then, of course, we have our diesel generator downstairs, which is providing power for the rest of the miners as well. So, yeah, let me quickly grab all of these tier 3 solar cells, and I think right out of the gate we can bump those up to Palladium. We are going to need some more photovoltaic cells, but again, those shouldn't be too difficult for us to make. The most expensive part here is just Certus quartz, which right away I do appear to have run out of. Not Certus quartz, sorry, nether quartz, which we have run out of. However, we do have 700 nether quartz in ore form, and so we can quickly run that through our old sag mill here to get some more. which we can then, of course, throw into our mana pool to get even more than that. So yeah, we'll craft up like another few stacks maybe of photovoltaic cells here, because I think it probably also isn't going to be a bad idea, chat, for us to upgrade this to tier 3. We'll do that in just a second, though. For now, let's see if we can't upgrade the 16 Chironite cells that we have to 16 Palladium solar cells here, which I think, again, we definitely should be able to do. We can, nice. And then if we just grab the old assembler and right-click over here, that should go ahead and fill that up, of course. At which point, we are now producing 8,175 redstone flux per tick, which is very nice indeed. So, before I upgrade the solar cell, the very first thing that I want to do in today's stream is I would like to upgrade our tier 3 Void Ore Miner to a tier 4 Void Ore Miner, because that is finally, once and for all, going to get us to the tier that we need in order to start getting iridium, in order to start getting more tungsten and titanium and all the kind of resources that we need in order to progress on into some more Tech Reborn, and more importantly, into advanced rocketry. So let's have a look here. If we want to upgrade to a tier 4 miner, I think we only need maybe like 180 of the Palladium crystals, and we do have over 700 of them. So I'm fairly certain that if we tear this down, we should be able to upgrade it fairly quickly. Now, I think I will, as always, quickly build a platform underneath here, just in case, because I really don't want to lose these modifiers, especially because they are quite expensive. Like each accuracy modifier does require like, 4 diamond blocks, which is not incredibly pricey at our current, diamond capacity, but it'd still be nice to not lose them all the same, right? So let us see. Do we have what it takes to make a tier 4 miner controller? I'm pretty sure we do. We first, of course, have to craft up the 6 blocks of Palladium crystals. And from there, all we have to do is go ahead and craft it. Nice. We are using a clear lens, and that is all good. From there, we need to make the structure frame. If we check the old digital guide, I think we need 56 structure frame. Yeah, so the same as before, we don't have to craft any more of the tier 3 structure frame, but there is a slightly added wrinkle here, chat, in that each one of the tier 4 structure frame does require an emerald, and so we do require like a stack of emeralds here, and as of right now, we have 6. I do think that the tier 4 miner can get emerald ore. So, like, as soon as we have this miner, yeah, we should begin getting emerald ore, at which point we no longer have to make trades with the Amadron Corporation. But for now, I think we are going to have to once again resort back to the old Amadron tablet, do a quick /home, and then basically try and get as much coal as it is humanly possible for us to get. Right now, we do have quite a bit, and I might as well be over out here, right? But depending on how favorable the trades are, this could take a lot of coal. They're not offering a coal for emerald trade right now. They are offering a gold for emerald trade. If we have like 400 gold, then we could get this. How much gold do we have? We do have a lot of gold, actually. And we probably do have more than enough here, not including the kind of regular non-end version of the gold ore. And so I think if we do run this, with our pickaxe here, we should get more than enough gold, especially given that sometimes we do get 3 ores per gold here. I do also think, chat, that possibly today we should look at actually setting up some kind of ore processing system, which is kind of an odd thing to say when you are 96 hours into a mod pack. That really feels like something we should have set up maybe, episode 2. But we could probably start looking at getting like maybe a pulverizer and a redstone furnace, maybe a sagma and an alloy smelter, but just something to start processing the vast number of ores that we're getting into ingots that are actually usable, right? How many emeralds are you willing to give me here, game? I would like the maximum number. I'll take a little less than 80, actually. I know I said the max number, but I'll take 64. There we go, place order. Here we go. All right, so there is a stack of emeralds. Beautiful. And at that point, it should just be as simple as crafting them. Nice. And we did need, I think, 56 structure frame as well, so we do need 4 more of that, but thankfully we do have it, structure panel that is. And I think at that point we're basically good to go. We're probably going to need some more either null modifiers or, actual speed or accuracy modifiers. But let's take a look. Let's put down the tier 4 miner. Let's use our old assembler, of course, and give that a quick right click. There we go. And yeah, so now we need like 1, 2, 3, 4 more modifiers. Oh, sorry, maybe 5 more modifiers. Oh, no, 4 more modifiers. For now, I will use null modifiers here, just because I want to get an idea of like how much power this is going to use. I think it's going to use quite a bit out of the gate with the 4 accuracy and speed modifiers. I think I did say in the last stream that the accuracy modifiers don't increase the power usage. That is incorrect. They very much so do increase the power usage, but just by a very small amount in comparison to the speed modifiers, which are, quite a bit more pricey in that regard. We do, of course, have to get rid of the cobblestone so that the miner can see the void. And there we go. Nice. All right. So how much power is that using? It's using 7,479, which is fine given that we've just upgraded our solar panel. And it's also producing 1 ore every 19 ticks. It says duration 19, which is faster than 1 per second. So there are 20 ticks per second. So we're getting approximately 1 resource per second here, which is pretty nice, or just a bit faster, I guess, than 1 resource per second. But for all intents and purposes, it's basically 1 resource per second. And again, we should continue to get crystals. We should now also begin getting these ironite crystals here, which is very nice indeed. Now, let's go back. Let's do a quick /home. And let's see about upgrading this solar panel. Even if we don't upgrade all of the solar cells within the solar panel, even if we just upgrade to like a tier 4 solar array, but then fill it with tier 1 solar cells, that's still going to give us more power than what we have right now. So if we grab this guy, and if we upgrade that to tier 3 to begin with, which does require some cryonite crystals in and of itself, but again, that shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. We're just missing all of the items required. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then as far as that goes, we do, of course, have to make the previous tiers first. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Upgrade those to tier 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably the kind of thing that we should automate in all, seriousness. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. All right. So this will be likely exactly the same as this solar panel, but just with more solar cells. And of course, with the tier 3 structure panel. Let me check the size here. So home, solar array, and then tier 3, requires 32. I think I might go straight to tier 4 requires 81 solar cells. And given that each solar cell requires 3 crystals, I mean, that's actually not too bad, right? 81 multiplied by 3 is 243. And I think we have more than 243 of every crystal. Yeah, so we could go, I think, all the way up to like a max size tier 4 solar array, which I think would produce just a crazy amount of redstone flux per tick, right? And then finally, 57 palladium. Nice. We just need 1 more photovoltaic cell there and we're good to go. Perfect. All right. So we now have 56 palladium solar cells, 40 tier 4 structure frame. We have a tier 3 solar array, which should hopefully be easily upgraded to a tier 4 solar array. And actually, we do need to make 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we need, give me another 2 stacks of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And boom. All right. So let's take the tier 4 solar array, put that down right about here, right click with the assembler to build out what is hopefully almost max size. We didn't craft up the old 26 solar cells there, but again, that shouldn't be a problem. There we go. Let's finish that up. Oh, that cracked. Do we need more modifiers? Oh, we do. It takes 8 modifiers. Okay, let's get some more null modifiers. There we go. All right. So now we are producing 106,110 RF per tick. I was going to say, when I said 10,000, I thought, that's a fairly reasonable bump in power there from the 8,000 we had before. But that's 106,110 redstone flux per tick. That is absolute lunacy. Holy heck. All right. So at that point, chat, what we can almost certainly do is we can grab some of our extra terrestrial matter, which is going to give us the XP to go back to the overworld. And we can most certainly first of all, hopefully reconnect this, which of course we have to do with the culinary generator these days. Perfect. What we can do is we can put down some torches so that this guy doesn't spawn like creepers. I'm okay with the chickens being here, but creepers are where I draw the line. And we can probably craft up like a bunch more speed modifiers for this to make it even faster. Speaking of this, I should definitely now put down this guy again. Beautiful. We do have a bunch of mica. We've got over 2 stacks of the stuff hiding out over here now, which is fantastic. The only really limiting factor for us would be those Lonsterlight crystals, but I do believe that we have enough of them. We've got 8, yeah, which should be enough to make, quite a few more of the old speed modifiers here. Let's quickly request some glass. And then let's make a few more of these, shall we? Let's start with like 4 more, which I think is the max amount that we can put in here. I might swap some of these out for more accuracy modifiers. I'm not quite sure. The accuracy modifiers are useful. But going forward here, we're really not actually all that interested in crystals, at least. We might even want to switch our lens out because now we really want to start focusing on things like iridium, right? Iridium is really the kind of resource that we're looking for here. So now this is using, give it a second, 13,976 RF per tick. It is diminishing returns at this point in time because now you'll see there it took it down from 19 duration to 16. So we went up, we almost doubled in power usage for a 3 ticks reduction in speed, right? Which is 3/20ths of a second is what we shaved off there. So it's really not that much faster. It does require a ton more power. Not that it really matters on the power front. Of course, we do have the power for it now. I did have to swap this out, by the way, between streams, the P2P tunnel here, because, of course, these cables, the Ender IO conduits, the ones we're using at least can only transfer 5,000 RF per tick, and given that this is now using more than 5,000 redstone flux, I've got one P2P tunnel going directly into the Void controller, which can carry, I believe, infinite redstone flux, and then another P2P tunnel, which is then providing power to all of the rest of the miners. And so, yeah, that should, hopefully, be doing just fine. And you can see already we are getting iridium, which is nice. Let me take a look at the odds of iridium. They're not super high, 1%, but which means approximately 1 in every 100 ores will get you iridium, but do bear in mind we're getting 100 ores every 100 seconds, so like every 2 minutes, just shy of. So that's actually fine. So chat, let's take a look then and see if we can't craft up, I guess, the matter fabricator, and then the nuclear fusion quest here to make the fusion controller computer is going to be a little trickier than I envisioned, because it turns out that much like the blast furnace before it, the fusion controller here is not quite as simple as it seems. Like, the recipe here is quite pricey, but very doable, right? Like, we need some of these energy flow circuits, which require advanced electronic circuits. They need tungsten, they need lapotron crystals, they need iridium alloys, they need fusion coils, which is yet more energy flow circuits, more advanced machine casing, more superconductors, more nichrome heating coils, and more iridium neutron reflectors, which are made, of course, with thick neutron reflectors, which are made of neutron reflectors, which are made of copper, pulverized coal, and tin dust. However, the fun part, chat, is that once you have the fusion control computer, it's actually a multi-block much like the blast furnace, and to complete the multi-block, you need, I think, 16 fusion coils. So we need the 1 to make it, and then we need 16 more on top of that. So we have to craft 17 fusion coils, which is going to be interesting, to say the least. So I believe, chat, that we are going to have to drastically increase our auto-crafting capabilities. I also did move this, by the way, between streams. I don't think I mentioned it. The quantum ring, I was having some issues with it up here, which I thought might have been to do with like the fact that it was kind of connected through like a P2P tunnel and, connected via some jankiness. So I moved it like right down to the core center of our base. I also got rid of the arc furnace, which we will put down again somewhere. But for now, this is kind of just where it is. I'll probably redo this a bit. Like if we do end up going with a full cube of a controller, I might move this to like the actual center. But for now, that is working just fine. So let's have a look then. I guess we should start by trying to probably autocraft things like the energy flow circuits. We've already autocrafted the advanced electronic circuits, and automating the rest of this I don't think is going to be too bad. We are going to have to make some new machines, like the iridium alloy plate here, unfortunately, is not quite as simple as putting iridium ore into the plate bender. We do have to get this implosion compressor going with the iridium alloy, which is advanced alloy, iridium ingots, and diamond dust. All of it should be doable, though. But before we get into any of that, let's kind of upgrade our system's capacity for autocrafting. Right now, we've got this kind of janky setup that I placed down many episodes ago, and I did say that I would eventually upgrade. And so I think what we should do is we should craft up a couple more molecular assemblers, as well as quite a few more ME interfaces, and probably embed them in the walls down here. And on top of that, we should probably look to making more crafting CPUs. Right now, we just have the one, 2K crafting CPU, which really isn't going to be all that fast, and I don't think is going to be anywhere near enough capacity for us to do all the autocrafting that we need to do. So let's head down here, and I think what we'll do is we will craft up a couple of molecular assemblers. I might even teach my system how to make these. That's probably going to be a good idea. I'm just thinking how I want to do this, because we're probably going to want to have a setup that looks a little bit like this, with an ME interface in the middle surrounded by molecular assemblers. That's going to give us maximum speed on our auto-crafting, because what we can do is we can have, 8 crafting recipes inside of that ME interface, and then if we use crafting co-processing units, which are these guys right here, in our crafting CPUs, we can basically allow that ME interface to use all of the molecular assemblers and therefore, craft very quickly, right? Like if it needs to craft 100 circuits, instead of doing them all in one molecular assembler, it will split them between 6 molecular assemblers and thus do it 6 times as fast, right? So to do that, I'm just thinking like where I want to put these clusters. And I think we'll put them in the walls here, because I think that could look quite cool. So essentially the idea here is that over here we're going to have molecular assemblers and ME interfaces, right? And we're going to fully have a ME interface surrounded by molecular assemblers like this, and then we're going to do the same on the bottom right here, like that. I believe that the channels should pass through here, so if I connect up an ME cable to the bottom here and then cover it with a facade so you don't see it, and then run that over to the controller, I'm pretty sure that all of these will come online. And again, if I'm not mistaken, this only requires 2 channels. I don't think the molecular assembler uses a channel. I'm fairly certain that it's just the ME interfaces that use channels here. The molecular assemblers just require power from AE2. So I believe that we can just run that over, and that will be 2 channels, and then we can do another 2 here. That's 4, 6, and 8 if we wanted to hook all of those up. So we've got our first 2 kind of crafting, clusters here ready to go. Now, before we progress on with any more auto crafting, I do believe that we should look at processing, or beginning to process, some of the resources that we're getting here. Specifically things like Certus Quartz and Charged Certus Quartz are things that we're going to need for crafting, and it would be ideal if our system had access to them. Like right now, we do have a fair bit of Certus Quartz, but we kind of need to teach our system how to process the ores it gets, so we have it, constantly going forward, and also how to turn it into fluix dust using the crystal chamber up here. Yeah, the crystal growth chamber. So we have a few options when it comes to ore processing. We could use the pulverizer and redstone furnace from thermal expansion. We can use the crusher and then a kind of furnace from immersive engineering. We can use the alloy smelter and the sag mill from Ender.io. And there are probably some other methods as well we could use. Like I assume we could use the squeezer from integrated dynamics as well to squeeze certain ores. Yeah, and then process those as well. These are probably the best in terms of yield, because you're guaranteed 2 and you have a chance to get a 3rd. But they're not very fast. And that's kind of the problem with a lot of the machines. Even our fully upgraded Ender.io machines over here are not super fast. They're not incredibly slow. They're probably maybe fast enough. Yeah, we could probably get away with this. It just depends on like how quick our ores get. Right now we're getting about 1 ore per second, so that should be able to keep up here, because this is doing about 1 ore per second. Chat does make a good point that there is a higher tier of sag mill, actually. I completely forgot that you can go even higher to these enhanced sag mills here. That's actually a very good point that I had completely forgotten about. Let's have a look. Can we upgrade both of these machines? I think we definitely can. At which point it might be worth going with Ender.io then. So if we're going to do that, we do need some enhanced machine chassis, which are upgraded versions of our previous machine chassis. We need end steel chassis, which are made from end steel, grains of infinity, then end steel bars. So we might have to put the alloy smelter back down just to actually make that end steel there. But that might be a good idea, actually. If we make an upgraded sag mill, I'll bookmark this, and an upgraded alloy smelter, that might be our fastest option. Yeah, sure. And we can use this recipe down here to kind of save on flint, I guess, and save a piston. But we might as well, I guess, upgrade the ones that we have. Although maybe not. Maybe we should make the new ones, given that it's not much more expensive. Yeah, we could probably keep the ones we've got like down here and then just make some fresh ones. Okay, in that case then, chat, we need 2 enhanced machine chassis, which need 2 printed circuit boards, 2 stone burn, and 2 enhanced dye blend, which is made with grains of pizzalite, nether quartz, and organic black dye. These are made by sag milling pulsating crystals, which are diamonds and pulsating iron nuggets. Those are actually a lot easier than I thought they were going to be. I've not made these before. I was expecting some kind of bizarre system akin to lighting bedrock on fire. Thankfully, that is not the case. We do, however, need quite a few of these. Actually, 4 should do us. Perfect. All right. Do we have what it takes? Almost. We do need some more organic black dye, which is coal or charcoal dust and slime. So slime we do have. And then coal dust I think we should also have. We do indeed. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and merge both of those up in here. And that should be everything that we need, chat, to craft up the dye blend. Nice. From there, do we have printed circuit boards? We do indeed. Let's take 2 of those, because of course we want to make this twice. Let's get 2 stone burnt if we don't already have it. We do. Fantastic. And then from there, we just need 2 of these end steel chassis. And right now we have 1 end steel ingot. So I assume these are made with 6 end steel. They are indeed. And so we just need a bunch of obsidian, dark steel, and end stone, all of which I think we should have. We've got 62 dark steel, which is perfect. We, I believe, have at least a bit of obsidian. We do. We can get some more fairly easily. And then end stone, we can, of course, autocraft. So all of that is actually not too bad. Let's quickly go and, first of all, dump some of our inventory here because it is getting very messy. But let's also go and grab some more obsidian real quick from the old end dragon. So a few stacks of obsidian later. Let's grab the end steel. Let's make those end steel bars. And then from there, all we need is just more end steel ingots, right? Yeah, we need 1 more, or I guess like 5 more if we're going to make 2 end steel chassis. But then we also do need a few more to actually make the enhanced machines themselves. But that seems very doable, chat. What kind of pressure are we looking like in the machine here? A very low amount of pressure actually is required to make that. That's very interesting. All right, so there we go. 2 end steel chassis. So let's take, chat, all of this over to the old pressure chamber and see if we can't get 2 enhanced machine chassis. We'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and do I need 4? No, actually 2. 1, 2. Perfect. And then if we just bump the pressure on that up a little bit, we need negative pressure. This machine is used to achieve a vacuum. To do this, this machine uses pressurized air. Apply pressurized air to the plus tube, and when 2 bars is reached, the air at the negative tube will be sucked. I see. So we need 2 turbine rotors, which are made with compressed steel, and then turbine blades, which are made with gold and redstone. All right, so we need to take this stuff out, because we do not have the setup for it. That is fine. It doesn't matter if the pressure gets out now, because we're trying to get to negative pressure anyway. I believe we probably can make the 2 pressure gauges. And then these don't actually seem too bad. So we need 6 turbine blades. So 12 redstone and 6 gold. That seems doable. I think I'll just get a bunch of these just in case we need more of them in the future. You know, if I put in half a stack of redstone and half a stack of gold. That's, of course, more gold that is needed comparative to the amount of redstone. But that should be fine. And that seems to have done it. Beautiful. And then from there, 1 and 2. And boom. Nice. All right. So let's have a look at this guy. So this guy has a plus side and a minus side. So what we want to do, I guess, is we want to move this, put down this in such a way that the negative side is facing this way. And then from there, we want to put down our plus side. And we want to give it some pressure. I think that should work. Let's put in our items. Those being you, and you. Close that up. And then see about giving this some pressure. Again, I do want to be a bit careful with the pressure. That needs to get to at least 2 before it starts to go negative. Maybe I should fully, like, empty this out before we start. Like, really let that empty out. Okay, so does that... begin pulling the pressure down? 0.07, 0.06. It does appear to be going down. Remove the other things. I'll take some other stuff off here just in case these are causing issues. I don't think the safety module there is really helping us too much at this point in time. Or maybe we should put some upgrades in here. Can that speed up the pressure decrease, maybe? Again, we do want to make sure we don't go overboard. That seems to be doing just fine. Like, we're not going too high on any of these. We're nowhere near 5 bars of pressure. This seems to be actually a good equilibrium check. When the number is going down, we're at negative 0.15 bars of pressure. We only need 25. So I think this should be actually fine. Like, any second now, we're going to see those transform. Perfect. All right, chat. We have done it. Let's grab those. You'll love to see it. I will, for now, replace down you and you. We can always fix that in the future, of course. I'm going to temporarily remove that just in case that causes any issues in the future. And I will, again, move this like 1 block further forward for now. All right. So we should basically, I think, have everything it takes now to make the upgraded alloy smelter and an upgraded sag mill. So for the sag mill, we do need, actually for both of them, we need vibrant alloys. So let's make 1, 2, 3, 4 of the regular infinity gears there. And then let's upgrade those, of course, to the vibrant versions, which does require a few more vibrant nuggets, but that is fine. Perfect. And from there, I think we're basically good, right? We need 3 furnaces for the alloy smelter, which again, so long as we can request some more endstone, shouldn't be an issue. And then in terms of the sag mill, we just need a piston and some flint, both of which are fairly easy for us to do. Of course, we could do it with the old sag mill, but given how expensive it is for us to make more industrial machine chassis compared to the price of this, like all we'd be saving is 3 flint and 1 piston. I don't think it's worth it. 1, 2, 3, and a cauldron. And boom, that's the advanced alloy smelter. And boom, there is the advanced, aka the enhanced sag mill. They're even actually too big for the inventory slots. They're so tall. My goodness. Let's see actually how big these are. I think we're going to put them over here. They are quite large. They actually look very cool. I've never made these before. Nice. All right, so let's take both of those. And let's put them in the wall here. They take up 2 blocks. They do. So yeah, I'll put them here and here, like that. And then I guess we'll actually reverse those. Not that it really matters too much, but we'll have sag mill and then alloy smelter. We do need 2 octadic capacitors if we're going to have those running at max speed, which we definitely, I think, do want. Okay, so we'll put the capacitors into both of you. So these are using 225 and 225 redstone flux per tick. That is completely fine. And I think the 100,000 hour per tick that we're producing should be able to handle that no problem. Let's run the energy conduits, which I think actually might be in here now. Yeah. Up to here. Perfect. And then let's see how fast that is. So if we run our like iron ore through here, that is faster. Nice. Okay, cool. The benefit of using the Ender.io machines over something like the thermal expansion machines as well is that we can configure the sides here, so we can have this auto-eject. If you right-click, you can set it to push, and therefore it's going to push directly into the alloy smelter there. And you can also set the alloy smelter to pull as well if you wanted to. But that should work just fine. We're going to set this to furnace-only mode, because we're not bothered about making alloys here. We're just going to be using this as a way to very quickly smelt things that are processed here. I think it's fine if it smelts the cobblestone that comes through as well. I think that's probably completely okay. And so all we're going to do now, I guess, is we're just going to export everything to this sag mill, like all of the stuff that we want processing, like all of the ores that we want to be processed. We can just send them to the sag mill. That could be easier said than done, given how many things we have to export. But let's start with just one export bus. I know I used iron ore as an example there, but in reality, we probably don't need to process our iron ore, given that we have, 70,000 iron, and we also have a system in place in the form of our deep mob learning setup that's kind of ready to work with that and make us more iron, when we need it. It's probably going to be a good idea for us to use an ender chest system for importing, right? Because right now, everything that we want to bring into the system, we have to put an import bus on every single item, right? Like we're doing it over here as well for our processes and whatnot, and doing that requires channels every single time. If we get a bunch of ender chests, which are super easy to make, and we give them all the same color, right? And we make them all unique to us. We'll use lapis, I guess, because we got a ton of it. So if we put down one ender chest right here, we'll say that white, blue is our import channel, and we do something like that. We can just put down ender chests wherever we previously had import buses, and therefore save on channels, right? So over back here, we have an import bus right there that's working and pulling things out of here. We can get rid of that import bus and instead replace this tiny little chest here with an ender chest, and again make that white, blue. Okay, so I think we're going to do one. We're going to use this system here to process ores that need smelting, and then we'll use this system here to process things like Certus quartz, right? So that does mean we're going to have to get another export bus, but that's fine. And we can have both of those things export to the ender chest, which we'll put down right there in between. And again, we'll make sure that's set to the right frequency, which I believe is white, blue. Like that. And we'll make sure these are both set to push here. So right-click twice to get to push. Like that. I think that's going to be our best bet there. So let's see. Can we make another export bus? We can, but we have to do the thing. Oh, it's so fast. I love it. Cool. So we'll stick that on the back, of course. Right there. And then we'll hook that up as well. So that's going to take up the channel that was previously being used by... I guess we'll go this way. Previously being used by the import bus. Good stuff. So, now we just have to decide what it is we want to actually export. So like I said before, over here, and what am I covering up there? I'm covering up a bus. I kind of don't want to break that if I can avoid it. Over here, we at the very least want to be doing charged and uncharged Certus quartz ore. And of course, again, we do want to get 2 more capacity cards here. Give us a bit more space there. I think this is probably also the kind of place where we want to send our lapis, as well as things like our redstone, and probably also our coal. I imagine all of those probably want to be in here, being processed. What other ores do we have? I think diamonds probably also want to go there. I'd imagine that sapphires do. Rubies probably also. Yeah. What else? Emerald probably also wants to go there. I don't think uranium does. I think that's probably everything. Nether quartz, I guess. Yeah, that seems about right. So diamonds, ruby. Oh, we're gonna have to choose here. Sapphire. Let's do nether quartz. I don't think emeralds are gonna be super useful for us. We can come back and tweak this if they are. We could also actually, you know what? Let's actually get rid of diamonds and replace that with emeralds because we obviously have our deep mob learning setup that is producing diamonds for us, so we don't need that. This seems to be doing all right here. We do, of course, need to hook up power. And it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it is going to get the job done, I think. And then over here, we're basically going to do most of what's left, like most of the other ores. So we're definitely going to do copper. We're definitely going to do tin. We 100% need to do silver because that's one that we're constantly low on. Nickel seems good. Gold also seems good. Iron is less important. Lead also seems useful. What else? Aluminum, maybe? We do, of course, have stuff like iridium, which is probably going to need to get processed. Yeah, we probably do want that iridium in there as well, actually. So let's see. We might even end up having like 2 export buses on here, potentially. But let's do copper, tin, silver, nickel, gold, lead, iridium. Maybe tungsten? That's one that we're going to need as well, I think, going forward. Apparently, is an advancement also. I guess we'll do tungsten and aluminum. I don't know if we need a lot of uranium, if any, going forward. Now, you'll see that this is not exporting anywhere near fast enough. So that's where the acceleration cards are definitely going to come in handy here. And yeah, you can see that's a lot faster now. You can see we are backing up inside the ender chest here, so we do want to get, once again, some more acceleration cards over on this import bus to really start pulling everything in there a lot faster. But yeah, that does appear to be working just fine. And so hopefully going forward, a lot of our resources at least should be processed. Right now, of course, it's going to take a while for the backlog to subside, but I think we are definitely processing resources here faster than they're coming in.